Hello everyone, Greg from Paris, back again for this time. I know it's a long overdue video about GLENCADAM. A long time I said I will do an overview of GLENCADAM, and GLENCADAM, yeah, it's a good distillery, still underrated in my opinion. Yeah, this is true. I reviewed the 10 years old a while ago, but it was an exclusive French version, because I gotta bring something special to French, so previews of what will the English version would be, and then time goes by and I forget, and also I had to gather a certain amount of samples, a bit like Chris Goodrum does, excellent YouTube channel as well, and another underrated YouTube channel if you ask me. Yes, he's a pro. Yes, anyway, go see that channel. Talking about that channel, the news took us by surprise and with a lot of sadness. For those who don't follow me on my Instagram and those who don't watch my YouTube, don't read and see my YouTube community post, our good pal Andy, aka Andreas Tavornik, most well known as Foodquig, has passed away recently. It's very, very sad. I had the chance, I didn't met him, it's a bit the same thing that like with Big Al, so Whiskey Straight Al, so we got along well, but we had chats, but we did a live show together. I had him as a guest along with Leon Webb. At the time Leon was taking care of Shelter Point, so I got both those guys guests, and unfortunately I know he had some heart problems, etc., but I don't know exactly what happened, but I will put a link below to some links from Foodquig, things related. He started his YouTube channel quite early compared to me and other people today, so 2012 he started doing his whiskey reviews, but what I didn't know, it has 2 or 3 other channels at least, one not being run by him but friends paying homage to him, where he on the Foodquig one, I will give you links below, don't worry, to these channels, he was basically talking about his cab driver journey from the cabin of the car, and he was talking while driving, and also showing his everyday life, and it was quite touching. The last one he posted about 12 days ago really tells he had issues already health-wise, so rest in peace, brother, and I hope you're having a dram, like someone said, with Big Al, and talking great stories. So he will be missed. Also, I paid him tribute on my community page, so go read that. It's a bit long now to go back to everything I said, and I even scratched the surface. Quite generous guy, samples wise, and also to check out the live shows. Anyway, rest in peace, Foodquig. But it's not. But today we're gonna speak about GLENCADAM. I'm trying to do. I don't do editing. I know it's not for everyone, my channel, but yeah. So why this? Because I had to gather samples from when was this happening? Let me check. I did a Zoom tasting while it was the C word period, and it was quite weird. I paid for my samples, taxes and stuff, while it was supposed to be free for UK people, so I think we cannot say I am biased in any way about this. It was hosted by Benjamin Cox, the marketing executive of Angus Dundee Distillers. Could explain why I talk about Angus Distillers for GLENCADAM. and I think it was in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2021. That's it. The Zoom tasting was about 3 GLENCADAM expressions: the 10 years old, the 15 years old, and the 21 years old. The sample of the 10 convinced me, between other things, to buy a bottle. So I have 3 bottles out of the 7 expressions we're going to try today. One very generous sample I won at a contest of the 25 years old. In Neil Whisky Trial, the Whisky Trials, it's Neil's channel, Scottish channel, and this was in 2021 or 2, not 100%, 21. So basically, bottlings and let me check. Everything is around 1 or 2 exceptions is around 2021. So apologies if not, but you can still find part of all of these bottles online, if not on first market, on secondary, on dusty shelves. So yeah, I think it's interesting. Also, yeah, part of those, because I don't have enough content for everything, samples were half full, but for the bottles and the big samples, I still use this glass. It's a collab with Spiegelau. Spiegelau, it's Authentis 30 is the name of the glass, and Ravinet d'Arc is the distributor here in France, which gave me a few more glasses of this, and a few others I will have to cover and experiment at some point. Otherwise, for the lower amounts, I will use this trusty tasting glass. I don't have a brand to tell you. It's the nosing glasses. Anyway, I think I covered all. No, I forgot, sorry. Whiskey of the year. Well, I prefer to say highlights of the year, because I explained that again. I did that last year, but I'm preparing the video. And why I know many other videos from fellow YouTubers are online now. Go to check them. I mean, it's always interesting to hear good people say about their favorite whiskies of the year. Me, I prefer to wait a bit more, because there are some releases that I tried, and especially the one that I consider the winner for this year, which hasn't landed yet in France distribution-wise. It's not French, yeah. It's a clue. My whiskey of the year this year is not French. But there might be some French in the top 10, let me tell you. So spoiler, yeah, it's coming on probably beginning of January, but I hope so. If the whiskey is still not distributed, I can tell that. If the whiskey I'm thinking about, I wouldn't say it now, but if you follow me from close, you might have an issue of what it is. But if the bottle is still not imported here, let's say mid-January or beginning of January, we'll say, I think I will just do as usual, show you a picture of it, and that's it, and review it later anyway when it will be out. But it's a pity. I really wanted this year. It was not the case last year. I didn't bought the bottle, but this year I can buy the bottle. It's cheaper than last year's winner, so I really would like to show it to you, and also to give you a first impression on the bottle as well. So hope it works. Sorry for the long introduction. Like some say, without further ado, GLENCADAM distillery. So before you ask or yourself, it's between Aberdeen and Dundee. It's Eastern Highlands. Eastern Highlands. Yeah, it's in white. So of Scotland. So it's a region that was a bit devastated with the whiskey lock and the closing of a lot of distilleries. That said, you still have Foodquig and Royal Lochnagar not too far from it, and Edredor on the west. But you have Glenesk, you have Northport, you have Lochside, And you have Glenry Royal, one of my favorite closed distilleries that are still over there. Unfortunately, lots of closed distillery around it. So also it's an independently owned and family owned, but it's distillery. It's owned by Angus Dundee Distillers, which is an independent bottler, also providing whiskey in bulk for other companies and blended whiskey brands. They do have rum and gin also in their portfolio, and they're currently building a distillery in China. Oh, but aside from that, they own GLENCADAM and Tomintoul, which is also a Scottish distillery, and just a few other specs, informations, because you can find more details, I guess, in the Malt Whiskey Yearbook, where I did take some of the infos I'm going to tell you there. So it's owned by Angus Dundee, yes, since 1988, but before that it was founded by George Cooper between, like I said, Aberdeen and Dundee in 1825. After several ownerships, into 1857 the GLENCADAM Distillery Company is formed. 1954, big players like Canadian players Hiram Walker and Sons took over. Then 1987 to 1994, Allied Lions bought it. Changed the name then in 94, yeah, for Allied Domecq. It's pre-Diageo era, right? Then 2000 to 2003, the distillery closes. It's refurbished. And Domecq sells it to Angus Dundee, like I said. What else? In 2005, they release a 15 years old. We're going to try. Capacity of production 1.3 million liters per annum. It's not a lot. So it's not nothing either. So it's a little distillery, let's say, not the most little. We're not at Avangeric at 20,000 liters, but 1.3 million. They have 5-ton stainless steel mash tun. They have 6 washbacks. Fermentation time is short compared to a lot of distilleries that we're talking about, Ardent America, etc. 52 hours only. What else? They have 2 stills, and yeah, I gotta talk about this. The reproduction is not very whoops, let me show you. This is from Whiskey Exchange page on Instagram, Whiskey Show, or LinkedIn, I don't remember when it was. Anyway, yeah, I got some visuals there to show you. Well, it's not obvious here. There's a line arm from the still that goes up around 15 degrees up. What does that mean? It's not very common. That means that it's there's more reflux. The heavier compounds goes back down to the still. There's also a more copper contact of the little, very thin vapors that goes up. So it's aimed to produce a lighter style of whiskey, which doesn't mean it doesn't have character. What did I forgot to say? They have 7 days a week. They're operating 7 days a week, 16 mashes per week. They also have 16 big tanks used for vatting blends for their blends, and maybe also others as an IB. They host maybe others. Not sure about that. Now they have, very interesting, they have 2 dunnage warehouses, have 5, sorry. They have 2 from 1825, which is very old. So it's almost as old as, it's not as old as the Bowmore one, which is one of the oldest in Scotland. But I also have a modern racked warehouse. Right, so I think specs wise we have said everything. I will give you more details about the bottlings when we go up to them. What else I have to say? It's not an easy disposal today because I have several things of several format. The light, it's a grayish, it's cold over there, so we don't have a lot of light today, but never mind, we're still gonna do our job. We're gonna start, we have to start somewhere, right? So we're gonna start with the 10, the flagship, and something that when the range was rebuilt, I think, I don't want to say, don't want to mistake there, I was there. Unfortunately, it was the only year they were there. It's a bit of a pity. 2009, 2008, 2008. There you go. 2008. This expression, the 15, I said was already there, but. They were refurbished and remarketed, redesigned, and everything unchill filtered, non-chill, non-added color, and 46. So, except there's also, I think, an origin, something with a lower ABV. I haven't tried an OH statement for supermarkets, but not our supermarkets. Even this is difficult to find. Why don't I have more GLENCADAM? Some are expensive, especially limited editions, and also distributor here is not very, I mean, it's hard to find bottles on shelves on retailers to start like that. Though I took contact with them, I know I can find them somewhere, but nah, it's like it is. So 10 years old flagship, one of my favorite. 10 years old. I was sad not to see it in the Oswars this year. But there's something I have in high praise. So yeah, sticky legs. It's pale. It's unadulterated as it can be. The details about the cask. I had to change the tasting order. It's very complicated. It's first fill and second fill bourbon casks. This is a 2021 release, supposed release, because I struggled to find batch number and stuff. 46% ABV. What else can I say? Trying to gather several notes about it. Anyway, let's get on the tasting. Yeah, I mean, this is the typical charming, luscious, white, yellow fruits and vanilla, the best custard you can think of. So really something complex. There's some esters right there. You have some pear eau de vie that is sweetened with some vanilla, almond sugar, stuff like that. Sugared almonds, I mean, but the malt and heady flowers, white raisin, white grape, not winey, white grape, I said, right? Also some banana smoothie-like sensation, but everything comes like natural, not artificial, and like in some other whiskies. Yeah, so characterful, light, delicate. I forgot to say they all have nicknames. I just realized that. I thought there was only 1-2 expressions, but they all have nicknames. So this one is the Rather Delicate, and it's exactly what I have on the nose. So let's see on the palate what we can find. Okay, past the initial, like I said, very generous and gentle and sweet and sexy vanilla, custard, crushed almonds, white resin, you still have a bit of herbal, slash floral background or bed of flavors, but everything on top is sweeter. Maybe you have a slight herbal bitterness, but it's with the vanilla and the custard note really wraps that gently. So it's pretty. I also noted, because it's not the same batch, on the sample we tried online, a hint of pineapple juice with a bit of sugar. What else? I cannot even. Yeah, so malted barley, of course, and light honey, light acacia honey. So real nice. It's a bottle I did struggle to evaluate score-wise. So I don't know. Maybe I will change it today. We're gonna do long video. I'm sorry. Not sorry. You know me, if you're there, it's because you're interested in what I say. Otherwise, I have plenty of better, don't know, but bigger, better held, better edited channels, blah, blah, blah. You know, just there's something for everyone. And I mean, lots of us are friends. Not all, but lots. Yeah, so very fragrant. There's something like a very nice perfume, but without being heady and pleasant, so it's very delicate, rather delicate. It's the best. I mean, it's on point. Okay, let's put a bit of water in there, because yeah, so it's the festive season. I hope you're having a nice time with your relatives and organizing things to have a nice moment. If you know people that are in difficulty and gonna spend their Christmas alone, Christmas time, like me, I'm gonna welcome someone, a neighbor, because well, it's, I mean, you have to open up your mind and your doors as much as possible. Don't want people steal my whiskey, but yeah, to help people get have a nice time in this weird period. Enough rambling. Yeah, more lightness, more charm from the floral side of it, but the vanilla is the strong foundation of this. Vanilla slash custard. Crème anglaise et vanille in French. Sanjava. Forgot to say that among these, oh, maybe some Angelica. Not sure, but there are also some sweet spices. So very light ginger, very light cinnamon, very light nutmeg. But this is so well integrated, you don't really see it. It's just a bit of a kick on the middle and back end that reminds you this is 46, and reminds you this is also Highlander. It could be on that matter, if it wasn't on the lighter side, it could also be a Northern Highland. It is not that far from me from Tininic, or even a bit Clynelish. Clynelish a bit more wild, but the wildcat. Okay. Oh yeah, really lovely. There's something like a sugar sweet treat, which is not too sugared. I don't know, it's very hard to score. But I have to so I'm gonna pause it. Okay, this was 88, this is now 89, because it's really developing well. Yeah, sorry, branded glass, I know, I'm so used to that. Go figure why, and I still haven't covered my Grant's blended whiskey. I know not all of you are interested by that, but it's the way that it is. I'm late to cover blends, why I like blends, and I do consume blends. What's next? Because I have to change my order for some reasons. We're gonna go up now to another bottle of mine, which I managed to get not was supposed to be over 80 euros. It was too expensive. I had a discount at 68 and a little more euros back in 21. It's a 2018 release, The Reawakening. Too many things. It's an ex-Bourbon cask, bottled the 9th of March 28. Only 5,994 bottles of this. It's the reawakening, yeah, for the restart in a way of the distillery. Problem is the label is so glossy that you cannot really see things. Lots of marketing stuff on the blah blah. I'm not sure there's more things. Yeah, 15 degrees it says on the, you cannot see it, I'm sorry, it's too glossy. There you have it. This is, I would say, along with Glengarry, two very interesting, intriguing, singular and characterful distillery. It's really, I think both are underrated. They should be way higher scored and considered. It's not only a question of course, considered. Sorry, bit of fatigue these last days. But there you have it. It's a bit darker, not so much. I would not say darker, I would say paler. Rather, it's 13. Like I said, it's ex-Bourbon. What I understand, do I have more precisions there? Not sure. So it could be more refill bourbon in there. It's my suspicion. Let's see. The legs are all sticky for all expressions, I think. So let's see what's going on with the nose. Yeah, this one is less vanilla driven, so this one also makes me think of less first feel, less estery profile. I forgot to mention English sweet licorice for the 10 years old, mind you. So it's very much, it's really for me an apples and pears and apple skin, apple compote. It's an apple thing, whiskey, this one. With the, you can have fresh fruit and baked fruit. The apples, you can have golden, the yellow apple, as well as red apples. A lot of red apples in there for me. Also get the sweet spices. On the beginning of the bottle, see it's only there, but I know I'm gonna struggle to find another one. Some like other bottles of my collection, I'm nursing them and not drinking too much of them, because it's gonna be hard to get hold of another one. There's the malted barley as the foundation, less vanilla, but it has this unique floral charm that I struggle to tell you more details. I'm sorry, which flower, etc. It's very there's something also little hay, little not botanicals, but yeah, it's things around the fresh, but also the baked and the overripe. It's a complex apple note. That's what I mean. Sanjava. Again, another expression that benefits from having some air. Oxidation. It's something that struggles to be seductive, on the contrary of the first one, but still is for me. Let me see. Yeah, there's some drier profile, austerity in there. A bit more ginger and pepper maybe, but not as much. No, I'm not gonna change everything. So yeah, you see it's very apple and a bit spices driven. This one is very Christmassy in a way, I would say. I mean, this is different, but not, I would say, not as seductive, not as convincing maybe. I don't know if it's a word. They're different beasts, but I like both for what they are. Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's better with a bit of sorry. Sunk. Yeah, we're moving from 87 to 88. Well, it's tough. Honestly, it's a bit tough to score. Overall, if you like apples, if you like a bit more drier profile around the malted barley, but more of the dried herbs and also dried fruits. There's the skin of the fruit as well. The sensation of something that's complex and around apples mainly. You should try this one. Right. Now we're gonna move to the first sample before we go to the sherried ones. I wanted to go to, not all are sherried after that, mind you. That's not what I mean, but I wanted to go, you see, losing a bit of time, I know. Wanted to go with the 15 first before I go to the Andalucia and all that. So there goes the 15 on sample, which is now empty. So provided for a Zoom tasting, and with the Brexit and all that, I paid for 6 samples, 3 GLENCADAM, 3 Tomintoul, because of the taxes, because it's written whiskey on the box, etc. 46 something euros for 3 CL samples. I was a bit disappointed, but there was a Tomintoul 21 and GLENCADAM 21, so worth the price, I guess. Yeah, so this one sticks less in the glass, probably because it's not the same glass, I don't know, but also very subtle on malted barley on the apples. But for some reason, I can tell you already, I did less connect with the 15 than with the 21. For me, there was a big gap between the 15 and 21. I didn't see real interest of the 15 on compared to the 13. But now that said, I have to tell you, for the 15, for the 14 years old Oloroso sample and the 21, you have to get my notes with reservations, because there's some air in since 2021 in the samples. They have half full, so maybe they lost a bit of oomph, so sorry about that. Anyway, on the nose, where's my spreadsheet? Yeah, so it's dried flowers, dried apples. It's more on dried fruit than on fresh fruit than the 2 first one, and especially than the 10 years old. But that said, I'm gonna have an approximative rating to give you there because I cannot try it another time. I don't want to pause again. So yeah, it's a sweet one. I remember I was a bit frustrated already on the Zoom tasting because it doesn't have a lot of length. I mean, all these are same ABVs, but for some reason I found it lighter than the 13, and maybe again with the reservation, I'm sorry, it's balanced, it's beautiful, but I don't know, I struggled a bit with this one to find where it is relevant in the core range. Now some of those have been discontinued. I cannot tell you 100% because it's hard to find in our market. Also, if the 15 and the 21 are still there, I have a suspicion they could be discontinued. I know there's an 18 probably back. But still good. Still some vanilla. I'm gonna go with a light 88 minus, if I may say, for this one, between 87 88. I mean, everything over 81 for me, 81, 82, 83 is quite a good whiskey. 87 to 89, it's very good, and we reach excellency really at 90, etc. You have, I gave you my scoring system already, but yeah, very pleasant, very beautiful whiskey at the point where it is. Shall we go to the Reserva Andalucia? Yes, because it's an OH statement. Oops, sorry, and I prefer to do it before I do the 14. So what do we have else? Yeah, we have all these. For this one I have a bottle. Too many notes. And I will tell you everything I know about it, which is what I could find. So this is the look it has when it's a limited release. It's closer to this than to the previous bottles you've seen. Yeah, our master distiller works with a small numbers of bodega to select in Jerez, to select the only very best Oloroso Sherry butts, blah blah blah. What is interesting in there, it's this talking about butts. So it's 500, 550 liters versus 180 to 225 for bourbon barrels. So the contact is less important, and while it's Oloroso Sherry, there might be less impact on it. Now that said, I have to warn you, even if it says Reserva Andalucia and it says Oloroso Sherry cask, it also says finish. So for this one, sorry, the rather enriched, it's the Reserva Andalucia. It was launched in 2020, and it's a bottling from May 2021. It's bourbon and sherry from the Durnage warehouses, and then transferred into Oloroso butts for a finish which is not disclosed. Price wise, I forgot to say, around 53-55 for the GLENCADAM 10 here in euros. And I have to buy the Reserva Andalucia in Germany with a 39 euros plus shipping price. Not happy about that. Don't have the price for the 15. I thought it was around 70. Like I said, the 13 reawakening around 70, and probably more now. And we're climbing with the other ones. So yeah, no age statement. So for this one, I know it's a 4 to 8 years old, I've been told. And oh yeah, I have the precision, sorry. For the finish, it's 12 to 24 months. It's only things I can tell you about this one, that I managed to get informations, a bit more information for you. It's a bit of a relaxed Christmas review. It's gonna be long, so you know the thing. Description. In the description you have stamps. Okay, so obviously this one is a more amber color than the other ones. Again, sticky legs. This glass is so beautiful to showcase that. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you see? Around there, you can see it sticking. Okay, so sticky, from sticky legs to sticky, yeah, a bit of pudding, sticky ripe fruit, red ripe fruits, lightly sweet and sour, but there's also still some baked apples, baked in the oven, maybe with some cinnamon on top. So again, something a bit Christmassy, a bit more probably than the 13. Very nice nose. Now, might come across a bit younger as all the others. So yeah, some maraschino cherries now. Yeah, I don't know if I didn't note that. Right. So younger, damn it, younger and a bit heavier nose than the others. Let's see on the palate. Cheers. Icing sugar, more spices. Ginger pepper, not aggressive, not chili spices, but a bit stingy. Again, there's some nice. Am I reading the good one? Yeah. I'm surprised of my previous notes saying, yeah, there's some esters. Okay, yeah. Going on to some exotic fruits, papaya, ripe strawberries. Yeah, I know what I wrote that. On the opening, it was a bit aggressive, a bit heady, alcohol-wise. It was a bit spirity. I was a bit disappointed, but fortunately, it got better after the shoulder. Now, that said, still comes across a bit young, a bit like the Aaron Sherry Bodega, which for me a bit of a disappointment. Not bad, but a bit too aggressive, but too young. Like some nowadays Abuna, when it's not a great batch. It's obvious the content is younger than it was before, Abuna-wise. Here, I don't know about the rating. Yeah, I might, on the contrary, I might lower the note. Because of its youth. But it's still quite good. But for me, it doesn't have the same impact, same finesse, and as the others. Yeah, water helps a bit, but not really as much. So for this one, I think I'm gonna go for 86.5. Still very good, quite good. I don't know what adjectives to put there, but less interesting than all the others so far. But still a good one. If you like sherry, if you like young sherry, still some bourbon in there, mind you, it's for you. Okay. Yeah, the finish is drying and a bit more spicy. Okay, unfortunately enough of the bottles, and go and back to samples. We cannot buy everything all the time, right? Also, I'm very sorry and thankful at the same time, because guess what? I have around 200 samples now, but unfortunately for this sample, so it's a call for okay, the mention on the bottom is mine, but please, if you offered me this, please tell me who you are, because I have no idea. I thought it was Menno or Luna, but they say no, it's not mine. Usually their kind of size of sample, and so please tell me if you're the one who offered me this swapped, etc., this sample, because I have no idea. I'm sorry, but thanks. And there it is, a bit darker than on the bottle, which is a paradox, but so a bit darker yellow. Not. It starts to be, let's say, yeah, honey with a bit of heather in it. Like if you put some acacia honey in heather honey in acacia honey. Anyway, let's go. So 14 years. This one. Gotta change my sheet there. Sorry. Go back to this. It's the way it is when you have different cases and samples versus bottles. So this one is the Rather Enriched. It's the title. Yeah, you can see it there. This one is 14 years old. It was launched in 2017, but it's probably a 21 or 2020 release. Second fill bourbon, and then 16 months in Oloroso Sherry. I would dare to say probably not, around from 70 to 100 and plus and more euros. So I struggle to find a price for this one, to be honest. But yeah, there you have it. So this one, for this one, I got sweet and sour sherry, I got some ripe fruits, some dried raisins, a bit more stringency, you can feel it on the nose. Drier, a bit dustier, maybe also. It's a name I should have used also for the 13 years old. There's some dusty oak in there, but more than in the 13. Like dump warehouse and with all the spider webs and stuff, but it's not Springbank. It's not Springbank funk. Yeah, more dusty oak in there. Maybe the sample is corrupted. I don't know. It's hard to tell, because this one I didn't try it before. I opened it. The difference between the 21 and this one and the 25 is that the 25 and this I opened recently, the sample, very recently. So I don't know. Okay, let's see on the palate Saint-Java. Very paradoxally, it still has some bit of alcoholic stuff, alcoholic feel, slightly spirity side that the Reserva Andalucia has, but you can see it's a 14 years old versus 6 to 8 I said, so it has more depth. It's more balanced, it has more ground to rely on, and it's a finish. So the other one was a finish too, but I guess this one is longer. I understand that. Right or wrong? Let me check. Before you say silly things, Greg, double check. Oh no, I cannot say that. See, it's complicated. It's almost the same. No, 24. Yeah, they give you an average duration, to be honest. 12 to 24 for the Andalusia and 16 there, but it's still 12 years old of bourbon, so it's more balanced. Now, like I said, I didn't take notes for the first trial, I'm sorry, so it's going to be very approximative rating there. I like the finish. Something very, very slightly vinous, winey, which I usually don't like, but it's very tiny there. Maybe with the water we see more yeah, it gets a bit winey, but not so much. I will, with reservations, I will give an 87 to this. It's really it's a nice one. Not a masterpiece in any way, but I'm gonna move on now to something I really, really liked in during the Zoom tasting, and after that it's the 21 years old. Really something I would like to have on my shelves, that is for sure. Oops, I'm gonna use that again, this calendar page. 21 years old, the exceptional, it's called. As I understand it, it's Old Bourbon. I could mistake, but and this one is from 2021, obviously. So it was the sample they sent me from the Zoom tasting. But we're gonna finish with this. Spoiler, the 25. This one really, the price, the retailing price, if I may, it's around I saw it at 140 at Master of Malts. I think it's a very fair price for the 21 years old. Unfortunately, Master of Malt doesn't ship to France. If you want to donate a bottle of this, I won't say no. Okay, let's be serious. I don't think it will ever happen. This is what it looks like. So it's not so dark. Again, probably a lot of refill bourbon in there. Yeah, unfortunately half of it was empty, so it's less punchy, it's less expressive, so score and comments with reservation. But when I did the Zoom tasting, it was my favorite of the set. It was really, really the notes are very scarce. I'm surprised. I noted that it was a bit closed until it got some time and oxidation, a bit oaky, lightly resinous. We'll see what's going on. No, it's more harmonious now. Got a lot of time, 3 years to mellow out, but it lost some oomph in the middle, some apples as well. Let's see, the palate is it stored or not. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, there is a bit of loss, I remember. I like the way that it comes across as loads of vanilla, and then the vanilla fades out very quickly to give room to apples. Lots of fresh and baked, again, apples. It's a signature I think apples, pears, and a bit of other things. When there's 100% bourbon, it's more pineapple, pear, etc. Esters. And when it's more on the refill bourbon and sherry side, you get more ripe fruits, red fruits, and also more apples and more golden red apples. Here you have red and yellow apples. The vanilla has gone now like aged vanilla. No idea what aged vanilla means. It's a bit of crazy concept, but it's, I mean, it's dignified, like Richard would say, Richard Patterson, dignified vanilla. Something more complex, more with more depth. Yeah, some dried fruit, some raisins. This is complex, and unfortunately this is a bit degraded, so I cannot tell you everything that's in there, but it is a wonderful whiskey. Try to waken up things with a bit of water, but I'm afraid it's too late. I waited too much to try it again and review it. Apologies. But I remember how great it was. Still quite good. Oh, wow. There's some traces of an old fruit spirit, like what I imagine being 20 years old, plum spirit, or kirsch, or something a bit German there, but also no aniseed, I don't know. Again, something's Christmassy there. I wouldn't say cinnamon. It's very hard to find. Maybe with the help of this or the flavors out there. Something raisining. An old, what's an old Pinot Grigio wine. Something like that. Maybe I will guess, it's a guess, something like a 15 years old grappa with a nice muscat cask. There's something of an old muscat wine as well, but with less sugar, obviously. Again, there's a very noble old wine, also old spirit sensation there. Yeah, beautiful, really beautiful. It's with so far with the 10, the 21, and of course the 25. Not because it's 25, but because I tasted it. So without further ado, and yes, I'm sorry, it's gonna be 1 hour, and this time I'm sorry because I really wanted this to be less than an hour. With 7 whiskies to cover, unless you are as good as Chris from Liquor Hound of Chris Goodrum, you cannot achieve that. I am unable, and I have this also an official note to see if things matches with what I thought. I'm not matured for a minimum of 25 years exclusively in American oak, ex-Bourbon cask, carefully selected, and I believe them, from GLENCADAM historic 1825 tonnage warehouses. So quite impressive on the paper. It's 2018 release, batch 2. They don't do that all the time. Again, non-chill filter, non-colored. 1,164 bottles only. Retails around 550 to 600 according to Whiskey Base. If you have the occasion to try this in a show, if it's not too expensive, go for it, my friends. It's really worth it, really worth it. So good. I won this sample in a live show from my pal Neil from the Whisky Trials. There was some contest in the chat, and we have to answer questions. I don't remember exactly now because it was a while ago. I did a live show with Neil, by the way, great guy. Check it out. He talk about collection, what is whiskey, etc. Very interesting, I think. And yeah, I won this beautiful sample. I just cracked it on a few days ago. It seems completely unaltered. That's fantastic. He also sent me a Lecheg, which seems to be interesting. An indie sample of the Lecheg. There you have it, the 25. It's quite pale, but it's only the color that is pale, let me tell you. Oh. Starts like a discreet nose, and then you get little by little this vanilla, this, what did I wrote? Golden apple, so yellow apple cooked. With the skin on the oven, vanilla, custard cream, pear sherbet, orange chamonix. It's a brand of orange cakes. Sorry, very sugared usually. So in France, acacia honey, something that sweet spices. It's beautifully floral, and with some notes I often mention to you in my reviews, and I said to myself, Greg, you have to show them the thing because they don't know, and I have to correct something because the website is not 100% correct. Yeah, there's a sign between the two. This has a pastry feel like this. If you come to Paris and you see the millefeuille, 1,000 foils, crème pâtissière, it's like something like custard cream filled, but the icing sugar, the glazing of the top of it, it's exactly the flavor I get there. Of course, a bit of there too. So this is millefeuille. It happens in another review I talked to you about millefeuille. There you can see the traditional one. There's more modern with big rounds of cream, but this is the traditional millefeuille. You can see now, and you know. Now you know. But you got this note on the nose and on the palate. No, I'm. I mean, everything now is getting fossilized, crystallized, not petrified because it's living, liquid. But everything got dignified. I was saying dignified, enhanced, with more depth, more oomph, several dimensions of flowers. Not heady, but cannot tell again. It's a lot of things. Maybe some lily in the valley, maybe some lilac, maybe, I don't know. But it's a complex floral nose, complex fruity nose. I have the impression that you got all the notes from the 10, but they've been passed through time. You still have some vanillas, you still have some pears, apples and flower, maybe some apricot now and raisins and what do they say? They say tangy pear and peach fruity note. Yeah, peach, very discreet. Mingle with brittle toffee. Yeah, toasted hazelnut and Danish pastry. I don't know what is Danish pastry. Cushioned with peppery spices. Finish warming and toasted with layers of oat biscuits. Yeah, there's some biscuity side. Lemon curd, yes. Green gage, I'm not sure. Citrus zest, leaving a fruity and herbal linger. Let's see. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, there's an herbal side. This is time. This is the aging. There's an oak foundation to this. It's not over oaky. It's the old Highlanders, in my experience. Old Kleinisches is the same, except it's more spicy. There is this herbal layering, herbal, oaky, floral, bit more austere profile in there, but it is so refined and accomplished. Gotta add a few more to add a bit of water. I'm gonna pause it for the score because I realized that the first tasting I was so enthusiastic I forgot to calculate the score. Greg, where are you doing? What are you doing? Again, this one is gonna take a lot of time to upload, so that's why I couldn't give it to you quick as I wanted if I had a better connection and a better computer. But for now it's like it is. It is like it is. What a luxury to have such a sample. Oh la la, the icing sugar, the pastry side is more than ever there. I think I'm gonna have to increase the score. Yeah. There's nefle in French. I don't know the word in English. Gonna lose some time again there. With my phone, I hope it's gonna be helping me. Nefle is an orange fruit. Neffels. Oh man, come on. Okay. For some people it would be too tiny, the mouthfeel. I reckon it's a bit like that, but it's so subtle, so delicate. It has so much depth. It is a beautiful whiskey. I mean, it's undeniable. If you have some experience in whiskey tasting, if you're looking for a blast of quick pleasure, blah blah blah, it's not for you. You're wasting your money there. If you're an experienced drinker and you're looking for something accomplished, refined, with a long finish, but very thin, tiny, but very subtle, you will love it. Bear with me while I'm pausing to calculate the score, please. Okay, it's not as spectacular as I might thought score-wise, but it's still 91. For now. I mean, it's the second time I tasted. There's also, as in the 21, as for the 21, tiny dusty side of it. Probably lowers a bit the score. Otherwise, maybe I will have gone for a 92 out of 100. But I think 91 is, for me, the correct score for this. Will I spend 600 euros for this? I am not sure, to be honest. I tried I have a sample of it. I love it as well. I should have brought it there, but to be honest, it's too many whiskies and too long video for that. But as I still have some of this, if you are interested, please tell me in the comment below. First, which is your favorite GLENCADAM? to start with, if you like. And then if you would like me to do a face-to-face, though there's different beasts, a sample of the Glen 25 years old and GLENCADAM 25 years old, because I don't have a lot of 25 years old home, especially that could be compared. But yeah, maybe it could be an idea for a quick head-to-head review. There you have it. I hope you did find this interesting at a certain extent. GLENCADAM is a great distillery. I haven't tried a lot of their recent finishes. Wanted to try the Madeira, the Sauterne, etc. It's the way that it is. Let me know if you think those Sauterne and Madeira are worth of it. Last thing, they did a mistake in French. In one of their releases, they said réservé with the accent on the A. No, it's réserve with the accent on the first E. So it's réserve and not réservé de Sauterne or whatever. They could have told me, asked me, I would have told them. Learn your French. Anyway, cool stuff, and thanks again. What was their name? I don't have a name. It was a French rep that helped me find some bottles. Anyway, thanks, and see you soon with, before my highlights of the year, maybe some shorter videos with a single or just one or two whiskies to help you wait, or maybe to tell you what to buy if you follow my opinion. Bye bye.